So we get some quick changes there. If we do the F2 as well, it's down to sing thy praise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, and that's the A section. Once you have that down, that repeats 3 times in each verse. Come now, Thou. Hey y'all, welcome back to Lessons with Dan Locke with theworshipingsongwriter.com. Glad to be here with you, and today I'm going to show you how to play Come Thou Fount with an acoustic guitar. If you haven't seen it already, you can check out my video of it. Link is in the description. And right now, if you are interested in taking lessons with me, this is the perfect opportunity if you're watching this video in June of 2023, because me and my friend Loch Cain have launched a Kickstarter to record our next album, Christ the Hope of Glory. And one of the reward tiers is to take private lessons with me. So if you could check us out at Kickstarter and support us, that would be much appreciated. Now let's get on with the lesson. So the first thing that we need to know when we're learning Come Thou Fount is the form of the song, how it's laid out. Because Come Thou Fount is actually really nice. It's in what we call AABA form. So there's an A phrase, come thou fount of every blessing, to my heart to sing thy praise. And that repeats 3 times in each verse. And then there's something different. Teach me some melodious song, sung by flaming tongues above. So really, we only have to learn 2 things to be able to put this entire song together. So that's how we're going to look at it. We're going to break it up into the A phrase and the B phrase. Okay, so let's dive into the A phrase. We're going to start simple with just the chords, and then we're going to get more complex, doing some of the finger picking, hammer-ons, and pull-offs, adding the melody in there. So, the chords that we are going to need to know to be able to play Come Thou Fount. I'm doing this in the key of C. It fits my voice better. I find that it fits the finger picking really well. Most hymnals have it in the key of D. If that's the case, just go ahead and put a capo on capo 2 and use the same shapes. But we're going to do this in the key of C. So first we have our tonic chord, the 1 chord C. This is a standard C chord, starting with the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, the 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and the 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string, with the G string and the E string, the high E string, open. It sounds like this. And if I play it 1 string at a time, that is our C chord. We're going to be going back to that a lot. Next up, we have our G chord. This one, you take your 2nd finger and it's going to go all the way across the neck to hold down the 3rd fret on the low E string. The low E string is the one closest to your face. Your 1st finger is going to hold down the 2nd fret on the A string. Then we have the 3rd finger holding down the 3rd fret on the B string, and the pinky is holding down the 3rd fret on the high E string. And it looks like this, sounds like this. Now 1 string at a time. Okay. Now the last 2 chords that we need for our verse are going to be an F over C and an F2 over C. So the reason I'm doing it over C is because if I wasn't, I'd have to do a bar chord for the F chord. I'm going to stay away from that for this folk rendition. So what I do is I take my 3rd finger, it's going to go to the 3rd fret of the A string. My pinky is going to go to the 3rd fret of the D string. 2nd finger to the 2nd fret of the G string. And then my 1st finger is going to do a mini bar, holding down just the B and E strings at the 1st fret. So it sounds like this. And then if I do it one string at a time, starting on the A string, there we go. The F2 chord, I just lift up my second finger and let the G string be open. Gets a nice little suspended sound right there. Okay, so when we put that all together, we can get "Come now, fount of every blessing, to my heart to sing thy praise." So right there, you notice we get some quick changes at the end. Starts off pretty slow. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we get some quick changes there. If we do the F2 as well, it's "How to sing thy praise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2." Okay, and that's the A section. Once you have that down, that repeats 3 times in each verse. "Come now, fount of every blessing, to my heart to sing thy praise. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise." And this brings us to the B section. The B section is going to have some different chords. We're going to start with that C chord again, and then it's going to do a little walk down. This is a G over B. And then I do an A minor 7. So that's how I start the B section. Teach me some, just right along with the melody, each chord changing with the melody. Teach me some melodious sonnet. So let's go over those 2 new chords we did in there. This G over B, I'm really just holding down the 2nd fret on the A string with my 2nd finger, and my pinky is going to hold down the 3rd fret on the B string. The high E string is going to be muted for this one. That sound, no note ringing out. So I go from the C, and then I walk down, and then I lift up, and I move my 2nd finger to the 2nd fret of the D string and lift up my pinky, and this is the A minor 7 chord. So we have an open A string, we have the 2nd fret on the D string with the 2nd finger, we have an open G string, we have my 1st finger is on the 1st fret of the B string, and then an open E string. Teach me some melody. We go to the G chord, Otis, F sonnet, and then right back to C. So going slowly, teach me some melodious sonnet. Now we're going to do the walk down again. Sung by flaming tongues above. That 2nd time through, we skip the F chord. We're going to go right back to the C chord. So the B section all together. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. And then it's right back to the A section. And if you watched my video, you may have noticed I did a little interlude in between the verses. That's where I take the melody and I put it on the upper strings and I play the melody along with the chords. Let's go ahead and take a look at how to do that. So this is the interlude. The first one is pretty simple because we just strum. That open E string on top is our melody. So this is a C chord, and I just make sure I hit that open E string on top, but then I'm going to drop my pinky and play the 3rd fret on the B string. And then I lift up, and I make sure I play the 1st fret on the B string. So it goes open E string, 3rd fret on the B string, and then 1st fret on the B string. then we go back. Open, 3rd fret on the E string, and now that's going to be my G chord, except without the high E string. The melody note is that 3rd fret on the B string. So walking through real quick up to that point. The high E string is muted, so that the highest sounding melody note is that 3rd fret on the B string. And then we have that E string again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do some like partial chords here. I'm just holding down the 3rd fret on the B string. So I just play the G string, get those last 3 strings in there, and then 3rd fret on the E string, and then I slide up to the 5th fret with both fingers, and then back down, and then open E, 3rd fret on the B string, 1st fret on the B string. And that's the whole interlude. Let's play it through. Actually, one correction in there. What I do now from playing it. Open E string, and then I lift up to play the open B string to come in from the bottom. And then end with that C chord. So all together, one more time. There we go. Now, that's how you play Come Thou Fount. But you may have noticed in my video, I was doing something a little bit more in the verses. So what I'm doing there is I'm taking the chord shapes, I'm playing the chord shapes, but I'm adding some hammer-ons and pull-offs in the inner voices. I'm actually quoting the melody as I'm playing. So like when I start the song, I start on the D string, open, and then I hammer on. So I'm going to take my 2nd finger, making the C shape, I take my 2nd finger, it starts open, and then I play once and push in with the 2nd finger to get the 2nd note. So from there I can do hammer on, and then open again, and then my melody note is that 3rd fret on the A string. So that's the whole technique for playing those inner voices. I'm making the chord shape, and then I'm using my 2nd finger, or my 1st finger, to quote the melody as I'm going along. I'll have a tab for you linked in the description so that you can learn that yourself. So thanks for watching. This has been How to Play Come Thou Fount, a lesson with Dan Locke from theworshipingsongwriter.com. Don't forget that we have a Kickstarter going on right now to record our next album, Christ the Hope of Glory. And we would appreciate any pledges, prayers, or if you could just share this, that would be awesome. You can also take private lessons with me. That's one of the reward tiers, or you can contact me at theworshipingsongwriter.com. So if you like this video, if you found it helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel a lot. And check out our Kickstarter and follow us on social media. We have Loch Cain and the Worshiping Songwriter on Instagram and Facebook. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of thy